welcome to No Such Thing as a Bad Movie podcast. I'm April Etmansky, and I'm here today with...
Justin Nicolo.
And I'm Colin Cunningham. You dig, Daddy-O's?
I'm
That's
lying
right.
in your bed on Saturday night. No, everyone doesn't want to join in with me?
No.
I have not been able to get that Nowhere Fast
Godspeed.
song out of my head.
It's great.
I'm going nowhere fast.
Yeah. So today we're talking about Streets of Fire, a very musical movie, although not a well, is it a musical? Yeah, I guess.
Not really.
Well, it's
but...
a musical in the sense that there are musical performances in the movie.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And a music video kind of interlude in the middle.
That's very 80s. So Streets of Fire.
This was a
Walter
listener
Hill-
request.
Yes, the Walter Hill directed movie from
I was like, Walter Hill requested his own movie?
He did.
1984.
1984, yeah.
Oh, that was just a guess. Okay, so this was picked by patron, a longtime patron, Meow Nyan, very cute name. So thank you for requesting this movie. And for those of you who don't know, if you're a patron at the $2 level or higher, every 2 cycles, which ends up being about every couple of months, we do a draw for a patron to pick a movie. So all you have to do is be a subscriber, and I will pick a name, and you get to pick a movie that we do for an episode for. So consider joining the Patreon for that if you're interested.
Yeah.
And yeah, Streets of Fire, very good pick. A movie I have seen before.
They had picked 2 movies. They gave us an
Yes.
option, but I wanted to do this one. This is a movie that I wanted to talk about for a while. I wouldn't have picked it for this podcast because I like it too much.
I think it's right at home at this podcast, personally.
I don't know.
But yeah, so this is a movie we watched in the summer of 2020, I think. And
It was the summer of
I wasn't
2020.
I wasn't crazy about
nowhere
it.
fast.
I wasn't crazy about it. I appreciated it for what it was, but I didn't love it. This time around, I enjoyed it a lot more. It's not like one of my favorite bad movies or anything like that, but I had a good time with it.
You looked at Michael Pere's teen stash and went, you know what? You won me over, Michael.
Stash.
So
he looks
wispy.
like he's like 38.
Yeah, but it's like a kid trying to grow a mustache is what he has.
Had a lot of guys
Yeah.
like that in high school where it's it's just
You
shave it off.
don't quite got it yet. Yeah, you
it's
should shave
just
it off.
A little wispy.
I love to learn that Rick Moranis is in this film. Michael Pere hated Rick Moranis because Rick Moranis kept making fun of him.
Really?
And the first time they met, Rick Moranis went like, "Are you cool or just pretending to be cool?" And you know what? He's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was upset because Rick Moranis had like a quick wit and he'd just keep busting his balls on the set, and Michael Pere couldn't come up with any quips, and he was like, kill him.
Wow. So the tension in the movie was real.
Yeah. Every character hates everybody else in this movie.
There's 3 in particular, and we'll get to it. But I was thinking today, I was like, Willem Dafoe, of all people, is the only person acting normally in this.
Well,
quote
normal.
unquote.
Yeah.
Normal for him is he
But
looks
he's talking
amazing in this movie. I love him
It's
in
like
this
a
movie.
vampire.
He does.
Literally.
He looks like a cool rockabilly vampire.
This is his second go at being a biker, because it was also in Catherine Bigelow's The Loveless.
The Loveless, yeah. That
as
was
a
his,
biker, and that was his first role.
That was his very first role. And I think her directorial debut, which just got re-released years ago on Blu-ray, I think. It was kind of forgotten to time. Like nobody had ever seen it before. But it came back. It's an interesting movie. It's kind of like
Loveless?
The Wild One. Yeah, it's very stylish. I was into the rockabilly a lot, so it had one of my favorite rockabilly singers, Robert Gordon, was one of his biker gang guys.
Oh.
As a rockabilly guy, did you ever wear just a leather jacket, no shirt, Colin?
I wish I could pull it off. And I also didn't wear rubber overalls with no shirt like Willem Dafoe does
It
in
looks
this
like
movie.
something like a fisherman would wear. Fly
His
fishing.
outfit in this movie is outrageous, and I love it. He pulls it off completely, and he's got like the greaser hair. It's amazing.
But you must love this movie because of the rockabilly, right? There's
love
a lot of rockabilly.
I
in
love
it.
the style. I think this is one of the things where it's a movie where all the elements are there.
I agree with you, Colin.
I love everything about all the individual elements. It doesn't quite gel into being an amazing movie.
We'll get to it. This film has one problem where it's like, we're going to go on a chase. Here we go. All right, we've arrived. We're back. And you're like, wait, what, already?
Yeah, and it's already the end
The
scene.
movie, I was shocked
And it's like,
how
all right, let's
short
have
this
a
movie is.
Yeah,
10-minute like build up to the final fight. Why doesn't it just happen right away? I don't know. We got to hit 90 minutes. What are you going to do?
Yeah,
Exactly.
and then there's like a little bit afterwards, and then and like it's like the shortest hour and a half I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, what's like Fury Road? They go one way and then they
they
turn
come
around and come back, and there you go.
It felt like there should have been bigger scenes that were maybe cut, or they couldn't shoot them because of budget issues or something like
It
that.
absolutely
especially at the
feels
end.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
it should-
E.G. Daly's here, but she will not be saying or doing anything. She's just here.
It definitely feels like the end scene, especially. There should have been a big action set piece.
Rumble.
Yeah, exactly. Like bigger with everybody in the town and like versus the bombers as Willem
Or
Dafoe's
even some more
biker gang.
obstacles on the way back. Like,
Yeah.
they run into almost nothing. It's weird. Anyway, this movie was Walter Hill's follow-up to The Warriors?
I think he did it after 48 hours. So he used
His
the
clout.
clout. Yeah, he used the clout on 48 hours success to get this movie pushed through.
And supposedly he was like, it's set in Chicago. I don't want to go to Chicago. Let's just build it outside. Why not?
And does it ever look like a backlot?
It looks like the Mario Brothers movie a little bit.
Oh, it does. Yeah,
Just
that
in
one
this
street
dark,
they have.
like city, yeah,
I could kind of see it in
indoor city.
in like Highlander 2 or something as well. It's
Yes.
like they had-
I wish they were all flying around on like hoverboards and shit. That's a bad movie.
I do
It is.
like the setting though. It's so grimy. There's like one shot, I think it's like a daytime shot, and they're walking around. Everything is covered in filth. Like all the cars are just so grimy and gross looking.
And everything is permanently wet down to be reflective. Like they're just walking through puddles of water.
Yeah, I kind
Yeah.
of love that though. I don't know. It evokes a lot in me. I kind of like the setting and the look and the style. I get what they're going for. I don't think
The artificiality is definitely
Exactly,
a conscious choice.
call it like a hermetically sealed world. It's out of time. It's like
It's a rock and roll fable,
it's like
Colin.
well, they say right off the bat in the opening crawl, or not crawl, but it says another time, another place. It's like Star Wars or something like that.
So just so you guys know, it's the 50s and the 80s. Just go with it.
It's like the 80s, but everybody dresses like they're in the 50s. All the cars,
But they
are
also
like 50s
dress
cars.
like they're in the 80s. But is that like the
Kind of,
80s
yeah.
teenagers and the 50s teenagers? They kind of seem to be all separated in these like groups, kind of like the Warriors.
I think it's just Diane Lane.
No, they
kind
go
of
to
80s.
that club at some point in the movie, and they're all
Torchies.
dressed like
Torchies.
Yeah, they're all dressed like Diane Lane.
I thought they were all like rockabillys. That
No,
was like,
that's a different club. There's another club later,
oh,
I think, or there's a musical. There's a
Maybe you're thinking when they're walking through the streets and there's that
Yeah.
musical
I
montage.
think
That's when
that-
they all look like the 80s.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
of,
and
where,
she's
where
singing-
she's singing in the void,
the singing in the
Yeah.
void, surrounded by like neon 80s shapes.
squiggle lines.
All right, so let's get the movie started. We have that on-screen title, Another Place, Another Time. And you hear the voice of Diane Lane. Wait, no, it's not Diane Lane. She's just lip-syncing to the music.
Could not be Diane Lane. Not
Yeah.
to say anything against her, but yeah, powerhouse vocal performance by non-famous person.
Yeah, who was the lead singer of the band that actually plays with Diane Lane
The
throughout the movie.
Attackers.
It's Diane Lane plays Ellen Aim, and her band is called The Attackers. And she grew up in this town. I forget the name of it. And now she's come back. She's become famous, and now she's come back to play a show, which is like a big deal. All the townsfolk know her.
And then she gets abducted by the evil motorcycle gang. Now, why did Willem Dafoe do this? Did he really just like want to, kidnap a celebrity and get some ransom money, or does he have a history with her and Cody? I wasn't super clear on that.
He doesn't know Cody. Cody is Michael Pere's character,
What's his name? Tom Cody?
Tom Cody.
Tom Cody.
And this was meant to be the first of a trilogy of Tom Cody films.
Oh boy.
Getting a little ahead of yourself, Walter Hill.
This is a big failure, right? This movie?
Yeah.
Massive failure, yeah. Especially it was a Joel Silver production,
Yeah.
super producer.
I saw
so
that.
they expected him to, come out of the gate swinging again. And nope, it was a big flop. Michael Pare at this point, he had come off of Eddie and the Cruisers.
Okay.
Where he played Eddie Wilson. That film came out in 1983, and that one was, I think it was a hit. I'm only saying that because it led to Eddie and the Cruisers too.
Yeah, it must have been, yeah.
So, yeah.
I would see the trailer for that constantly on TV, like all the time. It's like playing on
Eddie
Super
is
Channel.
coming. Ooh. We're also skipping over, the song that gets sang right at the beginning, Nowhere Fast. Are you guys big Jim Steinman fans? Meatloaf's main collaborator? Because he wrote the music of...
To an extent.
I don't know who that is, so to say no. But I do like
love
this.
'em.
I like this type of music.
This song is
Have you-
great,
yeah.
yeah.
Have you ever listened to Bat Out of the Hell, April?
Not like sat down and listened to it, but I
you
have
should.
heard. I think like my mom really liked that album.
I have, yeah. We had it at home when I was a kid.
That's a mom
I
album.
loved looking at the album cover.
My mom
Richard
went to
Corbin
see
art.
that Bat Out of Hell musical.
That's right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Jim Steinman worked on that right before he died.
Oh.
Now, did this hurt Walter Hill's career?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was he never
'Cause
allowed
the
to
next
direct
movie
again?
he had to make was
48
the
Hours.
Richard Pryor film. What is it? Something Millions? Brewster's
Oh,
Millions.
Brewster's Millions. Oh,
And
my
that is
God.
a definite, like, I can play ball, guys. Just, I'll
Yeah.
do whatever you give me.
Yeah, and then he had to do another 48 Hours, much later,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, in his career. Didn't he produced Alien, didn't he?
Yeah, he did with the co-writer of this, Larry Gross.
Larry Gross, okay.
Well,
yeah.
the thing about this movie is it's ambitious.
It is.
Probably too ambitious. I think they had all kinds of budget issues.
Budget, like casting. I know Larry Gross would always blame the movie on the movie's failure on Michael Pare, just the fact that they couldn't
It's
get...
not Michael Pare's
No,
fault.
not at all, I don't think. But I
He looks
do
cool
think
on the poster, that great poster
that
art.
poster is amazing. Holy
Yeah.
shit. I want that on my wall. It's great. But yeah, I don't... Michael Pare, I don't know. He's good to a point in this movie, but I could see it...
Well, he's playing Sleepy Time cool.
I
he's
honestly don't think he's good at all. He's very cute, but I hate his character. He's a jerk. And they say that
he's a
multiple
jerk, yeah.
times.
Everybody
I know
is
he's
a
not
jerk.
the only jerk, but he's
Well,
called out, "You're a jerk, Cody," and they're right.
I think Rick Moranis is like the biggest asshole in this movie, which is playing against type. I've never seen him
Yes.
like this.
It's an odd choice of casting.
Yeah.
but I'm here for it.
Rick Moranis was a very, multi-talented guy on SCTV. He did like 1 million parodies.
Oh yeah, they're
And
great.
he just got, stuck in the nerd role post Ghostbusters, I guess.
yeah.
And so everyone was like, do the Ghostbusters thing. We want to do the Ghostbusters thing. He's like, fuck. Supposedly he would be on set doing impersonations of Michael Pare, and that really made Michael Pare mad.
You know what? I was watching this last night thinking I should go back and watch SCTV because I've never really seen it. Like I've only seen like skits here and
So
there.
good.
I would like to actually just watch full episodes of that
we were
show.
watching the Christopher Cross.
Yes,
Michael McDonald's.
That one really stands out.
Oh, it's so
where
funny.
Rick Moranis plays Michael McDonald.
Yeah.
I can't get into it. You just have to see it. But
Yeah,
it's really funny.
It's really funny. But he plays this asshole. He's Ellen Ames' manager, Billy Fish, and I think they're involved. They're like boyfriend girlfriend.
Yeah, their boyfriend, girlfriend.
He plays such an asshole, but so believably too. He's not like almost to the point where it's just like, oh, I wonder if he's like this in real life.
Well, you know what? He was great friends with Joel Silver, and that's why he's in this movie. So.
Oh, okay. Well, he'd always do Joel Silver on SCTV.
And on CTV,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
would.
Really?
Yeah, it was really funny.
Mama.
Oh.
I don't know
He
what
would
Joel
wear
Silver
like,
sounds like.
the bathrobe with like no shirt, and he'd walk around with a cigar in his hand doing his Joel Silver.
Oh, it was great.
So Tom Cody is called back by his sister to save his ex-girlfriend.
Who's Ellen
he just-
Ames?
He just got back from the war a couple months before. I
Yeah,
think
they
said.
say
Been
he's like
gone
an
for
ex-soldier.
2 years. Yeah, it's a very, very basic plot.
Yeah,
like
she sends him a
classic.
telegram, which I kind of liked. Stop. Tom Cody.
And he shows up, and right away he's rumbling with a bunch of greasers.
Yeah, they come to like mess up his sister's diner.
Yeah.
Of course, she's got a diner.
And he throws them through the window. That's going to cost a lot of money to fix, Tom Cody. Come on.
We also forgot to mention two things at the beginning of this movie: the credits, which go on forever.
Yeah.
And the editing wipes.
The wipes
that
are
like,
awesome.
It's like a Star Trek wipe that is like breaking on the edges, so it almost looks sci-fi-ish.
It's almost like the screen is being torn apart, and it's like
I think it's supposed to
Yeah.
be burning.
yeah,
okay,
that's
yeah,
the
like burning
idea.
celluloid.
but it has this like noise of like screeching metal or something.
Yeah, and so we're doing this like opening scene, and we're just cutting to credits like on black, and it happens for like 15 minutes. It feels like
April was convinced that they were. She says they're playing some of these credits twice.
they really are.
Like, it can't go on this long.
It goes on so long.
How many people can work on a movie?
But it's also like it's interrupting the plot of at the beginning.
It
Like,
gives it
let's
some sort
get
of
going, people.
Gives it a sense of urgency. You know what I mean?
April, the song is telling you where they're going.
Yeah.
Nowhere
Yeah,
fast.
we're going nowhere fast. Yes,
Yeah, so he
exactly.
beats up these greasers, and they just run away, and he steals their car, which is like this awesome like 1950s hot rod. And he
That's
just
what
starts
you get
driving.
for trying to start a random rumble in a restaurant for some reason.
I guess so.
They're just a couple of punks, a bunch of punks.
I think they, even if they had robbed the place, they probably wouldn't have caused as much financial
Damage.
loss
Absolutely not.
as the breaking
Tom Cody
windows.
like
Made it way
throwing
worse.
people through windows. Okay, I gotta say again, man. Every time Michael Pare was on screen, I just couldn't stop thinking, like, did no one say shave that stash? Like, what is going on with your face? You know what? It's my favorite thing of this movie.
What is
Pare's
going on
mustache.
with your face?
Like, every time they'd cut back to it, I'd be like, oh, like, you can understand someone being like, oh, I want to have like a 5 o'clock shadow. So
Yeah.
I look like grizzled and,
Yeah.
you know, like, oh, I'm tired.
He doesn't look grizzled. He's almost like too handsome to play this role.
Well,
but he's,
if it makes you feel any better, April, look at Michael Pare now, and you'll be like, "There's that grizzle."
didn't he end up on some like an NCIS or something?
Well, Michael Pare is, I will appear in whatever you pay me to do. Am I best friends with Uwe Boll? Yes.
Oh,
Am I
that's
in
right.
a bunch of Frank D'Angelo movies? Of course. I
Frank
love being in Frank D'Angelo movies.
Did I ever tell you
Still
my?
got it.
Did I ever tell you my Michael Pare story?
No.
I'm not sure.
So I was at this restaurant. This is probably like the late 90s, early 2000s. Probably, yeah, I'd say like 99, 98, something like that. I was at a restaurant in Toronto. Me and my friend were out in a patio. It was completely empty. It was just us for lunch. I was talking to a producer friend of mine, and I was just like, I don't know what movie I'd seen. I'm like, my God. I'm like, Michael Pare, he's got to be like the straight-to-video king. And like, that was a slam in those days.
Oh.
In a whole empty restaurant. And we were outside like on a patio. And I was going on about Michael Pare. Not that I hated him or anything, but just like, Jesus Christ, the crap that guy like shows up in, blah, blah, blah. And we finish our meal, and Michael Pare and his buddy stand up and exit the restaurant like they were just finishing their lunch. And I
So
was like,
were they out there and you just didn't see them?
we were sitting back to back.
Oh,
Like me and Michael Pare literally.
Is this story going to end with Michael Pare beating you up?
No,
Yeah,
no,
you
it does
window.
not. And then
That's
he
pretty
walked out,
crazy.
and I was like, "Oh my God!" I went beet red, and like that was Michael Pare.
he probably thought it was funny.
I don't know. He probably was like, "Oh, just bring me back memories of
I
Rick
could
Moranis."
fucking buy and sell you.
You have apologized.
No, I didn't realize it till he was like on his way out. And I was
You
And it
can't
was-
it
apologize
was
in
Michael
that
Pare.
situation. Like,
what
oh,
are
I'm
the
sorry the
odds?
stuff I said thinking that you weren't there.
Yeah, that's insane. That is an insane coincidence.
Yeah, that was just like so embarrassing.
Wow.
I mean, that
Whatever.
reminds me of sitting behind Walter Hill at the TIFF premiere of the one where who stars in that movie? It's like Reassignment. It was called.
Oh God.
Reassignment. I don't know.
Oh, it's awful. Speaking of wispy mustaches, it's what's her name? She was in the Fast and Furious movie. She went
Michelle
to
Rodriguez.
That's right, Michelle Rodriguez.
I know
gets
it.
turned from a man into a woman.
Oh, no.
What? And I sat behind the premiere, and it was Walter Hill and Sigourney Weaver was there as well.
No.
They were enjoying it, but I wanted to laugh so hard and couldn't because just watching the
Oh
movie.
no.
At least you were polite.
I was like, Sigourney Weaver was eating it up. She could not get enough of it.
Well, the fact that no one has even mentioned this movie, I bet most people don't even.
I've
know
never
this
even
came-
heard of
I only
it.
know because I remember when it came out at TIFF.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
but-
got a different title when it came out.
Did he do Bullet to the Head with Stallone?
He did do Bullet to the Head.
Okay.
That's one of his. He has a new one coming out. It's a Western.
Really?
Yep, and it has a crazy cast. Oh, they just changed the title to The Assignment. Yeah, it's William Dafoe, Rachel Brosnahan from Miss Maisel, the Amazon show, Christopher Waltz, Hamish Linklater from that Netflix.
No shit. From Midnight
Yeah,
Mass.
Benjamin Bratt. I mean, that's a real star.
I love
feel like
Benjamin
all
Bratt.
those people in the movie are like, oh yeah, we love the Warriors. We'll be in a Walter Hill film. It's like, please watch one of his more recent films. Like,
I beg
do
you.
your
I
homework.
implore you.
When did that movie come out? 1978?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like 79 or...
Like the last good Walter Hill film was Undisputed in 2002. That was 20 years ago.
Oh my God, yeah.
Well, that's a matter of opinion.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. April's a big bullet to the head stand.
I've heard that
She
movie
loves
is
Bullet to the Head.
hilarious. I don't know anything about it.
Sylvester Stallone. Basically, the issue with Walter Hill is once he hit Undisputed, someone gave him like an Avid, and he's like, you can do all these transitions, and it doesn't cost anything more.
Was that-
He's like, hooray!
Was that when he re-released The Warriors with the
A
director's
couple
cut?
years after that, yeah.
It was, okay. And he had all those like
graphic
comic
novel
book
stuff.
transitions.
He got John Carpenter syndrome, which is like, we love fades and like flash frames.
Yeah, and that was definitely something that he grew out of, I think. Carpenter?
No,
Or is he still
Walter
doing
Hill?
it? No, well, I don't know. Carpenter.
Carpenter didn't really get a chance to.
He did it for like
you know,
3 movies.
Yeah.
The Ward still has those flash frames and stuff like
Oh,
that.
God.
So
Boy,
Yeah.
oh boy. There's a movie I don't remember much about other than it being
It's bad.
very boring.
Another film I saw, Tiff, which has the basically our friends were like, you gotta get you. We're playing the Ward because John Carpenter is going to come. That's mainly the only reason we're playing it.
Wait, and he did not come, I bet.
He did
No.
not come. He showed up in a video and he's like, hey, sorry guys, can't come. Got jury duty. And it looked like he was at like a yacht club of some kind, just like hanging on an outdoor patio.
Yeah.
I would be laughing if it was him. You can see like his weed smoke
Yeah,
going
and
up
he
in
has,
it,
like,
and
you
he's
can
got
hear the sound of like NBA Jam in the
no,
background.
he's got his PS4 controller and he's like, sorry guys, I got jury duty.
Yeah.
That's absolutely what it felt like. It was very
And
funny.
then Kurt Russell walks by in the back. Hey, John, you're out of beer.
And then the movie sucked, right, Justin?
Oh, it sucked. It sucked. Terrible.
But going back to Streets of Fire.
Okay, well, we have to
baby.
introduce our other main character.
Well, he takes the car for a ride, for a joyride. Gets stopped by these 2 cops who are kind of like the main cops of the town, I guess,
They're like the nice cops.
the nice cops.
Yeah.
And then he goes to a bar.
That's why it's a fable.
Exactly. Well, we meet some mean cops later.
He ends up at a bar where he meets Amy Madigan, who plays McCoy,
And a bartender, Bill
a
Paxton.
young Bill Paxton with a
who
huge
has
pompadour.
A huge pompadour and like a metal tooth.
Look what they did to my face.
I was like, did you get a metal tooth because they punched your face?
He plays Clyde the bartender.
Yeah.
What is Amy Madigan famous for?
She was in
Carnival.
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams and
Yes.
Carnival are the only 2 things I know her from.
She was also in Uncle Buck, her credits
Oh,
say.
that's
I
right.
don't
Yeah.
Was she the mom?
She was the mom.
Oh, I barely remember that.
She was Buck's sister, I think.
Good actress. Very
Yeah, I
good.
like her. I kind of like her in this. She takes the role. She actually read for Reva, which is Cody's sister.
Yeah. That would've been
And then
good
Walter
too.
Hill had her read for McCoy that was written for a man.
Of
so.
course. So this character is coded gay. I don't know why they need to code a character that in the 80s, but they've been they're still doing it now. So
April, why do you think they have to do that?
I don't know.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
who knows?
I guess he wanted the film to play in China.
But like, so they just
Walter Hill was thinking globally when he was making Streets
they
of
have
Fire.
to add lines in like "You're not my type," which would not have been in there if this was the male character.
For sure.
But I'm definitely glad that she is in the movie. She definitely adds.
Yeah, I
something
like
to
her a
it.
lot.
But she has I'm angry and annoyed syndrome, which
Everybody does in
It's
this movie.
mostly just these 3. It's Rick Moranis, her, and Michael Pare.
Mm-hmm.
And
Diane Lane is pretty pissed off.
She is
during the
pissed
whole
off
She
as well
is.
too, but she doesn't talk very much. And so when these 3 are in a car together, oh boy.
Oh, the bickering! My God, I've
It
never
never
seen
stops.
never seen 3 people like hate one another so
and
much.
everything's
Do
sarcastic.
you think she has to fluff her hair like that every morning?
I was
'Cause it's
wondering.
like
Very
coming
fluffy.
out of tufts.
It's so frizzy.
head.
It's so
Yeah.
frizzy. It's like a kind of snap-on Lego thing.
It's probably
It's
a
like-
wig.
It might be a wig.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Colin, was your wig sense going off?
I was like my wigdar.
Yeah, your wig dark.
Definitely with Bill Paxton.
No, he could get his
real
pompadour
hair.
up. Come on.
Wait.
Hey, I'm Bill Paxton. I got a real pompadour.
Yeah.
We didn't even mention there's such a parade of stars in this movie.
Ed Begley
Like, who
Jr..
can forget Lee Ving, frontman of Fear? You guys know Fear?
Is it a band?
The movie?
Oh, it's a very famous band. That was the reason that Black Flag didn't get to play on Saturday Night Live because they moshed during their Saturday Night Live
no
performance.
shit. Is he Willem Dafoe's number 2 in the biker
Yeah, his
gang?
number 2, who's like,
okay.
"Arr!"
Okay.
screaming all the time.
Yeah, he's kind of heavily featured in the movie. He doesn't say a lot, but I'm like, who is this guy? They keep showing him.
Yeah, and then this is later, but Ed Begley Jr. shows up for one scene.
Yeah,
and I
very
was like,
weird.
What the fuck? Okay, so what happens in the plot is Amy Madigan, what's her character's name? McCoy. So she's broke. She needs somewhere to stay.
She's also an ex-soldier.
Yes. So she stays with Michael Pare and his sister, and then she finds out that he has tasked to do this rescue mission, and she's like, bring me along, I can help. Give me a chance. And he's like, fine, I'll cut you in for 10%.
Yeah, so
which
he
is
agrees.
only $1,000.
He agrees with Rick Moranis that he wants 10 grand. He'll go into the Battery. This is the area of town that the bombers run, and he's going to
That's
rescue.
a motorcycle gang,
Yeah.
the bombers.
This film, like right away though, it has like so much weird downtime where it's like,
Yeah.
all right, let's go for a nap, and then we'll head out on our mission. And it's like, I guess.
It's so
like,
surprising how little happens in this movie.
Yeah, it has the big
Yeah.
scene. He takes McCoy back to his sister's place, and it shows them like going to bed.
like sleeping, and then it shows them waking
and then
up
McCoy and the
going,
sister kind of talk and bond, and they just talk a little bit. And I mean, I appreciate the character development, but because the sister is like, I need to save Michael Pare because he clearly loves Diane Lane and he won't admit it. And it's like, oh God, it's such toxic masculinity.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, as Michael Pare's buying guns and like loading a shotgun,
Oh, yeah.
a rifle.
It's awesome.
Yeah, very,
From some like skeezy looking car mechanic too.
Yeah, that just opens a trunk that's full of guns.
Oh,
Take
everything
your
is
pick.
so like filthy and gross, and even the
pretty grimy.
even like Riva's apartment and stuff. It's everything. All the walls are water stained. You can see there's like leaks.
Yeah.
and even like Ellen.
Rent?
Yeah, when they go back, Ellen Aim is like this big superstar, and then Rick Moranis is like, "Yeah, I'll see you back at the hotel, later." And they show that hotel. It is disgusting.
crap, yeah.
It's such a piece of crap.
But that's the thing is like, I don't like being in this world. You do.
I like being in this world.
I do.
I'm kind of grossed out by it. But there's other movies that have that griminess to it that I love. So there's just something about that it doesn't.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I was gonna say like Good Time or something like that.
Okay.
But that's a real city. This is a set, so it has that kind of artificiality to it. But,
Yeah,
I
which
mean,
I kind of dig though. It's like the
Yeah.
kind of movie version of what a fantasy Chicago would be or something.
it just
like
has this like fakiness to it, but at the same time, yes, very kind of gross.
I kind of dig that though. I think I just like it. I like the production design on it.
So they all jump in the car and they drive off,
Bickering
with Rick
all the
Moranis.
way.
Yeah, and they seem to drive for hours to get where they're going.
Yeah, to the Battery, which is like, it looks like I don't know. It's like these sort of factories you'd see on the waterfront or something like that. But it's just where Willem and his gang hang out at a place called Torchies.
Yes, and so there's what's the band that's playing here?
The Blasters. So this is
I've heard of them.
yeah, they were like back in the day in the 80s. I'd listen to the Stray Cats and the Blasters and stuff. They were
Very good song.
good rockabilly.
Real
band.
Big Fish, all the classics, right?
He's
Yeah.
really sweaty, the singer.
That was kind of his thing. He's like, he would
Is that he's sweaty?
sweaty and he would like have this like skeletal grimace like when he sang. Like, One Big Stud, I think, is the song they're playing.
Yes, and it's a very good song, and it plays basically during the whole like siege, I guess you could call it.
And we've got to point out the dancer.
I was just gonna say we've got Flashdance dancer in this. What is her name?
Marine Jahan. She was a famous French dancer, and she was known for being Jennifer Beals' dance double in Flashdance.
Which is pretty cool.
So she would do all the dancing in Flashdance.
and she's like
What?
twirling
Jennifer
around.
Beal didn't do her own dancing? Oh no!
Feeling,
Do you think the people in Heavenly Bodies did all their own dancing?
Oh, of course they did.
They had to.
Okay.
That's still contentious to this day. I remember when Black Swan came out and Natalie Portman won an Oscar, and people
Yeah.
were like, she didn't deserve it because she had a dance double.
She didn't win for dancing, you idiot.
I know.
Yeah, just like when people were angry that Angry Malik didn't sing his own songs in the clip they showed at the Oscars.
Yeah, it's so mental. It's like, do you think
bad. That's bad.
Jesus Christ, do you think like actors are fucking jumping out of exploding buildings too?
Well, I mean, Tom Cruise is.
Well, him, yeah.
Where's his Oscar?
Give him the Oscar.
Yeah, I think that's how he gets out of his own house every morning. He just blows it
blows
up,
it up.
and jumps
Yeah.
out the
His wife
window.
is trying to escape with her children.
Buy me a new house every day.
All right.
Yeah. So we get to the battery.
Torchies,
And
ironically named Torchies, when Michael Pare starts blowing shit up.
Jesus Christ. Everything in this city is like filled with gasoline and dynamite.
yeah, I think that is probably, well, I mean, I don't know. It might be my favorite part. The explosions. There is nothing more to kind of spice up a little thin plot than just a ton of explosions. There's every, like you mentioned, like every car, every motorcycle just goes up and it's real fire. And then when they leave this place, he just blows up the whole building, you guys.
He like turns on the gas and I'm like, is he going to blow up more? There's nothing left to blow up. It certainly lives up to the Streets of Fire name.
That's right.
My God.
Literally, Streets of Fire.
It is exploding. It continues on later in the movie, anytime he shoots something. But this is kind of like a cool little siege. Willem Dafoe is wearing, okay, he's my favorite thing in the movie, but I have to say his outfit in this scene specifically is the rubber high overall things with like wide thighs. It's very strange. You have to look it up. It's just amazing. And he pulls it off, and he's wearing no shirt.
And the designer of that outfit, Giorgio Armani.
Was it Armani?
Well, he was the credited costume designer.
Oh, that's right. Okay, at the end, yeah, it said costume supplied by. I assume that he only did his costume.
Tom Cody's like, I would like a coat. And Armani's like, yeah, sure, here you go. Sweet.
Can I tear the sleeves off this shirt? Yes.
Oh, wait. We didn't talk about that. Like, Tom Cody shows up with, like, a sleeveless, like, vest when he shows up for the first time.
He's kind of dressed like this country bumpkin, like, hick.
Yeah.
He's got these, like,
He should have, like, a piece of hay coming out of his
Yeah,
mouth
he's got
all
that
times.
look to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, he's got the really high, like, work pants.
He has suspenders, no sleeves.
Yeah, he's got
for some
suspenders.
reason.
He's wearing, like, a denim work shirt with the sleeves torn off. And, like, cowboy boots.
Guys, you're my fashion guides in life. Do you think suspenders are going to come back?
For
Probably.
men?
Yeah.
For men, yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
Yes.
I would probably say yes.
Me and you, Colin, we're going to start the trend. We're going to go out on town.
I'm sure they're
no
already
shirt,
back.
only suspenders.
It would be the kind of old-timey suspenders like he's wearing in this movie where they have the buttons on the back of the pants that the suspender like latches onto.
I've seen some women wear them.
I know it's a hipster thing to have like a mustache too,
Yes.
but I want to be like a circus performer, like suspenders, bald head, big mustache.
I don't know if that look's ever coming back or if it was ever in the first place.
While watching the movie, I was thinking, April, because I see mostly women wear it. You know those big belts that were the style
Yep.
for a while?
Oh, yeah.
Have those gone out yet? Are those still popular?
No, they're out right now. I haven't seen anyone wear a belt.
That was like
at
12
all.
years ago that I remember one of my coworkers wearing a giant belt.
Well, Willem Dafoe is wearing one later in this movie.
And I was like, duh, why are you wearing that belt? And she's like, well, it's fashionable. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I like put the hay in my mouth and play with my suspenders.
You're like, but your pants aren't falling down.
Yeah, your pants aren't falling off.
Well, you were
it's
saying
like a bullet.
Willem Dafoe was wearing like a weightlifting belt at
Like,
one point.
it's so thick.
Yeah.
It looks like a weightlifting
Yeah, it's when he's fighting with Cody at the
He's
end.
like, I got a big gut. I need this girdle to put on.
It's the outfit is amazing. It's like when he's fighting Cody at the end, he takes off the leather jacket and then he seems to be wearing like this velvet satin shirt that looks like a leather jacket, and then he's
Yes. Isn't he wearing a houndstooth shirt at some point?
I don't
That's
know.
like that black and white pattern. Or was that a different movie?
That was a different movie.
Isn't it weird, April?
I think actually I know what it was. It
What
was
was it?
Trailer Park Boys.
Oh, yeah.
Streets of Fire, Trailer Park Boys. Common mistake.
It was on at the bar we were at, okay? Not that I...
It's not even a movie.
That was like
It's something you caught out of the corner of your
it
eye.
was like 2 days ago as well.
I don't watch a lot of things, I guess.
I want to point out that McCoy, Amy Madigan, she takes all the risk in this
Exactly.
saving Ellen Aim sequence.
Oh, yeah. She goes in, infiltrates, goes into a back room with a guy. She holds him up at gunpoint. And doesn't she have a clever line before she knocks him out?
Yeah, what did she say?
I forget. But it was something.
She's
something
like,
lights out.
legalize weed. Oh, wait, that was Trailer Park Boys. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah, and then she busts in on Willem Dafoe and the whole gang and holds them like hostage with like a gun at gunpoint while Tom Cody can like save Ellen. So yeah, she's doing it all.
Yeah, and she's only getting 10%.
Get $1,000.
Yeah. So yeah, they leave, and then
And
they're on the
buckle
run.
up for a pretty uneventful trip back.
Yeah, like
from
honestly,
the rest of the
well,
movie.
they meet up with the other band, the Sorrels.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so they're kind of wandering the streets and I don't know,
We gotta lose this car.
the neon section of town, I
Did
guess.
she play a gig on the way back, or was that like a music video out of time?
That was a music
Isn't
video.
it funny that like Michael Pare seems to have flashbacks to the night before at the show he wasn't at
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
he's thinking of Diane Lane singing songs?
Well, I was like, yeah, no, I think that's just an editing thing. Like, we shot this, let's just put it in here.
No, he's just got a really good imagination.
Yeah, I assume
Yeah,
this
because
is
she's
what
wearing
happened.
the outfit from the other night. So.
Well, here in this part of the movie, they bump into Baby Doll, which is Elizabeth Daily.
Oh, I love her.
I don't know. I didn't recognize her, but as soon as she starts talking, you're like,
Talking,
she should
yeah.
be.
It's Tommy Pickles.
Yes, she's a popular voice actress.
And Babe, the
She was
pig.
the second Babe. And
Yeah, not the first babe,
many,
because the first babe passed away.
Yeah, that's right. But she was in many, many, many
Pee-wee's Big
cartoons.
Adventure?
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, oh my god, she's been in like every show that I watched as a kid. Like
It's like as
Darkwing
soon as
Duck,
as soon as you hear her talking, like, okay, that person is a voice actor. She's got this like.
Why is she in this movie?
I
She
don't
does
know.
literally nothing.
I don't know.
Like, it's so weird.
Yeah, she just shows up and joins them and
Then leaves.
has some brief conversations with Diane Lane, which is really funny. She's like, "Man, I wish I was a songwriter. I wish you do it so well, the rhyming and the lyrics." She's like, "I don't write my own songs." And then she goes, "Yeah, but you know what? When you sing it, you make it your own." She's like trying to like back.
And you want to be like, Diane
compliment.
Lane doesn't even sing her own songs in this movie.
Yeah, don't even do that.
Yeah, Diane Lane. She was 18 when they made this movie, and
She looks like a baby doll.
she's so young in this movie. But the way they imply, like, her and Tom Cody had, a relationship years ago.
I guess when she was 16, 15.
Oh
Yeah.
God, it's like Jesus Christ. But apparently it was like she was written for like a 28-year-old or something, which I guess kind of makes it okay.
So maybe the character is supposed to be older, but
Like,
she
yeah.
looks very young.
Yeah.
She looks like a
It's
baby.
classic Savaji the Boss territory. Check out our Patreon episode for more information about that.
So yeah, I guess Baby Doll kind of points out that the cops are on the hunt for them since they blew up the battery and Torchies. So then they're like, all right, we got to get out of here. So they hijack a.
Well, Tom Cody just steps into the street
Yeah.
and hijacks the first vehicle that breaks in front of him.
Yeah, which is like a school bus driven by the Sorrels, which is like this doo-wop group.
Which includes Robert Townsend.
Yeah, that's right.
Meteor Man himself.
That's right.
Is that a movie?
Yeah.
You don't know Meteor Man? The
No.
first black, well, not the first one, but major black feature film that starred written, directed, starring Robert Townsend.
Yeah, he was
Oh,
kind of a big
no.
deal for a while, like in a certain.
Yeah, he was he independently made a film called Hollywood Shuffle that was kind of like I guess enough of a hit to give him like a lot of juice that, oh, this could be the next Eddie Murphy. And he wasn't really, unfortunately, and he's been kind of forgotten to like basically me and April's generation.
Yeah, but he kind of did it all. I never saw Meteor Man, but yeah, he was kind of like.
Nobody did, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Well, he took it to Keenan Ivory Wayans,
Yeah.
Like, that sort of like he was a producer, a writer, director, actor,
Yeah.
comedian, But yeah, he's one of the Sorrels who are really funny. I like them in this movie a lot.
I like that scene where they're just serenading them in the bus,
And everybody loves
Yeah.
it, even Rick Moranis.
Even
is
Rick
like,
Moranis, it was
who's
such a
been
nice scene.
such a jerk this entire movie, and he's just like smiling.
He's kind of smiling, listening to it.
And everyone's into it except Michael Pare, who's angry because he's always angry.
McCoy is now the official driver because she kind of says to him at the beginning, "I can drive anything." It's like, all right.
Yep.
And then they get pulled over by the corrupt cops.
Yeah.
In a
Oh no!
fairly
It's
uneventful
Peter
scene.
Jason himself,
Yeah.
John Carpenter's favorite actor.
Yeah, I knew I recognized that guy, but I didn't bother looking him up.
Oh, is he the lead cop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been
He's
in
a-
a bunch of stuff.
They kind of imply that this is, I don't know, some part of town where the cops are super corrupt. Amy
Yeah.
Madigan says, oh, they take bribes and payoffs.
And if you don't take a bribe, they'll bust you.
So then Rick Moranis is like, hey, they're speaking my language. I'll deal with these guys.
And then they go about to bust him anyway, even after they...
You gave that bribe too easily.
Yeah. And so then Michael Pare just pulls out a gun and puts them all at gunpoint and then shoots up their cars and their motorcycles and they all explode.
They immediately explode
I
and
think
fireballs.
those cops lived.
They all lived. This is the funny thing in the very next scene. So they escape. They blow up all their cars. He knocks over all their motorcycles, and then they drive off.
You're like, I can't wait for the chase scene that I'm sure is going to happen here.
Nope, no chasing.
Nope.
But it's just a funny scene when they do cut back to those cops. They all have fire extinguishers, and they're putting out their flaming cars. I'm like, where do they get these fire extinguishers?
A lot,
I don't know.
safety first.
In a world covered in gasoline, with fire extinguishers at every block.
Yeah,
it's very dangerous.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, it would be like a fire hydrant. They would have like a fire extinguisher box that you just
can
run
buy
into.
that. The other thing about this city is that it rains a lot.
Yeah. What? Because to put out the fires.
The fires, the gas, and you know what? It rains gasoline.
Yeah. Oh no. Because isn't it around this time that they return? Home?
Much to my surprise, every time I watch this movie, it's like, and we're back home, and I'm like, already?
Yeah, and you're kind of
Okay.
like, that's kind of it.
And I'm like, should I check the time? Like, how much more is left? So there is more left, but there's not a lot. So we need to reconcile our two heroes.
Sure.
That's what's most important.
Well, Diane Lane gets really pissed off after she finds out that Tom Cody only came back to rescue her for money because he was getting 10 grand.
I wouldn't say he only came back, but
he doesn't want to admit it.
Yeah.
So she gets super pissed off for some reason. She's like, you didn't do it for love, blah, blah, blah. She's still got a thing for him, vice versa.
And then they hook up.
Billy Fish, gives them the money, and then he's like, I'm taking the $1,000 that I owe McCoy. You can keep the rest. And he throws the money at him.
And then she's like, oh. And then she runs after him. They're in the rain, and they make out in a very disgusting scene.
Yeah, it's really awkward.
It's gross. And then it cuts to them inside making out with no shirts on, and they're just as wet as they were outside. That makes no sense, and it's gross.
It's like
you don't think it's sweat, April.
I guess, but like they're like
sweat.
dripping.
They were already, so they've already had sex. This is like,
exactly.
And they are soaking wet, like their hair is soaking
like their
wet.
face is like dripping.
Maybe there's a leak in the ceiling. Everything seems to be leaking in this town. But I didn't notice it. Apparently, when he throws the money at Rick Moranis, the money that he gets is like this sort of weird, like alien currency. Like it's not U.S. currency.
Okay.
To sort of like, I don't know, enhance the world.
Okay, small detail.
World
sure.
building.
All right.
Oh, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
So
now Willem Dafoe is angry.
He comes back to town.
They stole his lady that he stole.
He kind of has an interaction with Cody, which is a really cool shot. He kind of walks out of the flames wearing these like
back at the
rubber
Torchies.
Overalls. And he's like, "What's your name?" He's like, "I'm Tom Cody." He's like, "I'm gonna come for you, and I'm gonna come for Ellen as well."
But I will come later when you've already arrived home. I will offer no obstacles on the ride back.
I will not chase you.
Yeah.
So he essentially kind of declares war on this town. Doesn't he go on television?
No, he warns the cops. He shows up to the cops and he's like, "Here's the deal. I'm going to fight Cody alone."
But isn't there like a televised thing?
No, I don't.
I don't think so.
Are you thinking of Trailer Park Boys again?
I don't know. I thought that there was like a news clip where he was saying that he was going to come and.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Hello, citizens of Backlot Town.
Yes.
I'm Willem Dafoe.
I will destroy your parade.
So is he coming for Ellen?
No,
this sequence is so weird because you'd think William Dafoe would show up and be like, I want to fight Tom Cody. But instead he's like, I will fight Tom Cody at a later date.
Yeah.
See you guys later. And it's like,
but he warns the cops. He's like, don't do it. Don't interfere. I just want to beat him or whatever. And then the cop goes to warn Tom Cody and he's like, look, I'm giving you 24 hours. Get out of town.
Yeah.
I don't want any violence. I'm going to be waiting for Willem Dafoe and his gang arrives with all the cops and guns and everything. And then Tom Cody I guess convinces Ellen Aim that they're going to get out of town together.
Yeah.
So they're on a subway leaving town.
And then he does something completely unforgivable.
And then they stop at a train stop. He gives her to Amy Madigan and he's like, make sure she's safe. And then he knocks her out by just punching her in the face.
Just directly in the face.
It's just, why?
It's not cool, my dude.
I don't know.
That's never okay.
It seemed like,
unless she gave her complete consent, and she did not.
To punch me in the face? Yeah, I don't think she did that.
Could have just blackjacked her, or, Amy Madigan could, just hit her with a gun butt on the back of the neck or something.
That
like
honestly
that.
would have been better.
He
but
just punches her square in the face.
And she saw it, so she's just cool with that, I guess, because she's gonna wake up and be like, "My boyfriend just punched me in the face."
Why is my nose broken?
Yeah.
Oh, my career's over.
So we get to this big stand up, and it's like all of these cops, and then all the bikers roll in, and you think it's gonna be a big, huge showdown.
No.
And it's really not, unfortunately.
Get the sledgehammers out.
Well, it's like, yeah, it's a kind of interesting scene because like it's just Willem Dafoe and his buddy show up, and then all the cops pull the guns out. And they're like, "We're taking you in," or something. And
You're under arrest. All right, you can't stop
he
me.
says, "Oh yeah," and then he gets his like air horn blasts
Yeah.
it, which is such a great shot. He looks so creepy.
Yeah, it is a good shot. Yeah.
And that thing's really blasting. You can actually see the air distortion like coming out of
nice.
it.
They kind of pan up, and then they're all riding.
Yeah, his whole entire biker gang shows up with guns, and then the cop says, "Well, my plan just went to shit."
And then Michael Pray shows up, and he goes, "Sorry, I'm late,"
He's like,
which is funny.
he's like, time for your plan.
Now,
Kick his ass.
this is before they fight. Don't all the townspeople come in carrying like sticks and like pieces of wood with nails on it and stuff?
I think they all show up with guns.
Well, some of them have guns too.
It's
yeah.
America,
led
man.
by Bill Paxton.
Yeah, Bill Paxton, Clyde, he runs away.
So therefore, they have equal footing, I guess.
Yeah, they know nobody's gonna win in this fight.
But what we do get is a fight between Michael Pare and Willem Dafoe with pickaxes.
I don't know what they are.
Pickaxes, big sledgehammer looking things.
Like big mallets. They're not pointy, really.
No,
But
they're
just
kind of
mallets,
rounded,
I guess.
and they look really heavy.
Yeah, so they kind of have a very awkward, slow fight.
But the thing about this fight, Willem Dafoe has looked like the coolest badass up until this point.
Yeah.
And when they're fighting, he looks scared shitless. Like he's so afraid of this axe and Michael Pare. And
He's
maybe that
getting-
was a direction.
Maybe, yeah. He's getting his ass handed to him, but he is wearing like a lot of rubber and leather.
It's not a bad fight.
Yeah. I don't know. It's very cutty and lame. But Michael Pare was saying that it took 4 weeks to shoot this fight scene. They shot 2 weeks, him and Willem Dafoe, and then Walter Hill took another 2 weeks to shoot with stuntmen. I'm like, 4 weeks to shoot this fight scene. It's not
Are you
even
still-
that.
Listen, when you're floating up high on so much cocaine, it's tough to make movies.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, that's where they went over budget.
It's so weird. But yeah, it's like we were
On
saying.
one scene, and I mean, it does look cool, but yeah, that's...
It's not that cool. It's like, I feel if this is like Hong Kong, they would have like this
Oh, I know.
cranked out in an afternoon before lunch.
Yeah, you can't compare it to a much more competent
Yeah.
film industry.
But just, this whole stretch with the elevated train and everything, the elevated train was like built entirely on this set.
Wow.
And to do the night scenes, the studio like tarped off the entire frigging set, like
Yeah, I
the
heard
entire
that.
city set, and like blacked it out. And I was like, Jesus Christ almighty.
What? Why did they do that?
Just so they wouldn't have to shoot at night. They could like shoot during the day and they would just tarp the set
Oh,
off.
so it's just always night.
And apparently the tarp was just like fluttering in the wind so loud that it would drown out the actors' audio. And then birds started nesting up there and were causing a lot of
Yes,
ruckus.
I remember that story.
It's really funny.
So the movie's over, except
Yeah.
we got one big long musical.
He beats
sequence.
Raven.
2 musical numbers.
Yeah,
He beats Raven. They carry like Raven's body off. Like
That's Willem Dafoe, by the way.
Yeah, his name was it Raven Shattuck.
Yes. Raven
Shattuck.
Shamrock.
He's Irish.
Yeah.
Raven McShattuck.
I'll get you. I can't do an Irish.
Ah, tapatata. So they drive off into the daylight, and then Ellen, I guess, all those people paid for tickets. So the original show when she got kidnapped, so she's playing a show for the town again.
This time the
Sorrells are opening up.
Well, yeah, the Sorrells do their own number, which rocked, and then they join
I
her.
can dream
Yeah,
about you.
they were great. I was surprised they weren't a real musical group.
Oh.
But some of those actors must be like stage actors or something, because like I said, they had a lot of charisma and personality.
Mm-hmm.
And they got the moves, and then Ellen
Ellen
does
comes
her
on.
number, and it seemingly goes on for a while.
Tonight is what it means to be young.
Yeah, and it goes through like 4 key changes.
Tonight is what it means
keeps
to be
going higher
young.
and higher.
Na-na-na-na-na. That's the Jim Steinman touch.
Is it?
It's very baroque,
It had that
complicated
line on
song.
the
Yeah.
poster. It said, "Tonight is what it means to be young." And then apparently when Joel Silver, after the weekend opening box office, he said that it's "Tonight is what it feels to be dead."
Fuck!
It was such a
Ah,
bomb.
fuck!
So then, Cody, I think they kiss at the end, and then he drives off with McCoy. They're best buds now.
She's going on tour. So even though they're together, he's just like, if you need anything, I'll be there for you or whatever. And then he drives off with McCoy. And really, because she's got a new car, she's got money now. And then he's kind of, hanging on to her. Like
They're going to have some more adventures.
Yeah.
They got 2 more movies
Oh,
in this trilogy.
They
April.
had another adventure in Albert Pune's unofficial sequel, Road to Hell, from 2008.
Yeah, this blew my mind. Amy Madigan
Oh.
isn't in it, but his
Oh,
sister,
Tom Cody is.
Tom Cody and his
is.
sister come back.
Whoa.
It is bad. All shot in front of a green screen. It's
Yeah.
like Michael Pere's a serial killer for some
What
reason.
the fuck?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, I had never heard of this movie, and then I found out it was the unofficial sequel.
Yeah.
And then I watched clips from it, and it looks horrible. I thought
Late period Pune.
I thought for some reason it was the director of Repo Man, Alex.
No, you're thinking of Repo Girl, which is also
Oh
all
yeah,
shot in front of green screens.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Well, speaking of Albert Pune, this movie did remind me a little bit of Radioactive Dreams. Just with
But Radioactive Dreams is better.
I know it's much better.
I gotta see that movie.
Because
looks
that
really
has that has music.
Yeah.
That has the 1950s thing. That has mixed with the
When did
80s
Radioactive
thing.
Dreams
But
come
in that movie, it's actually futuristic. Like
Yeah.
it's like
It's like a retro future.
Yeah, it's like a.
Well,
Mad
I
Max
should
almost.
note that Albert Pune was probably heavily inspired by Streets of Fire
Yeah.
because Radioactive Dreams did come out after.
Yeah.
And he said Streets of Fire is one of his favorite movies.
Really?
Well, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely watch that.
I would love to see it. Is that even released though?
Radioactive Dreams.
Not.
think so.
It was only released on DVD in Germany, so
shit.
there's no official Blu-ray.
I missed the
release or
screening. I was like
good-looking
out of
version.
town when you screened it at the Royal. I
Yeah,
think.
you missed that.
I know. I would love to because the trailer looks
movie.
so good.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is exactly my jam, and then I missed it. Oh well.
I'm sure that like Vinegar Syndrome or someone like that's going to put it out, and then it'll come out, and I'll be like, "Oh, they didn't ask me to do any special features. Why?"
Story of your life.
April, did
Justin.
you pick your favorite
Yep.
thing?
Yeah, I said the explosions.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Did you pick a favorite scene, Colin?
Oh, it's
said
Defoe's
Willem
outfits,
Dafoe.
man.
Oh,
my
Defoe's
God.
outfit, of
There's
course.
a lot to like in this movie. Like I said, it kind of doesn't really gel into something greater than the sum of its parts, but I love the aspects of it, like the the world that it's set in and the vibe and the attitude.
Me too.
Yeah, I think I like it less than you, but it's definitely worth seeing. It's worth checking
sure.
out. But there's something about like it just doesn't really hit me in the correct way. It does have some great music. Does it
Good
have
soundtrack.
like the best musical numbers that we've done on this show? No, it's not as good as like.
Walter Hill admits that he didn't know how to shoot music. He's like, I don't know how to do this.
It's not as good as like Heavenly Bodies or like Staying Alive as far as like musical movies we've done on this show.
Staying Alive, the John Travolta sequel. Saturday
I
Night
legit
Fever.
love that movie, but it does have some cool sequences and some fun songs. Like I said, the vibe is not my jam, but I would still recommend it if you look at the trailer, the poster,
Yeah,
and if
it's kind
looks
of
like something you might like.
It's kind of forgotten in the Walter Hill oeuvre, I think, but yeah, it's a classic. I can see this being like a cult classic. Like I'm sure tons of people love this movie.
Also, it's really short, and that helps.
Just sweet 90 minutes.
Yeah,
All the better.
that's great.
Yeah, check it out. I really like it a lot. You know.
It's rentable on iTunes for a couple bucks, for
Yeah.
$5. So you can check it out there. And I'm sure that there's like a Blu-ray or something floating.
Yeah, there's a Shout Factory Blu-ray 2-disc
Oh, nice.
special
Yeah,
edition.
thought so.
There's like 2 90-minute documentaries for some
Really?
reason on it. Yeah.
Holy,
Wow.
holy cow.
well, I'd love to check it out.
Yep. And if you want to email the podcast, we're at no such thing as a bad movie @gmail.com. And we're on Twitter at no such thing pod. And as I mentioned earlier, if you want to join the Patreon, patreon.com/no such thing as a bad movie. And if you're on the $5 level and up, you will get a little bonus episode every 2 weeks. And next week, we are talking about 2 Indian movies. RRR, which is a new movie that just came out recently, which you should go see, but listen to us talk about it. And another one called Savaji, the boss. I keep wanting to say the hero. It's the boss. So yeah, fun episode. Check that out next week. And if you want to find me, I'm on Twitter and Instagram at April Edmansky.
You can find me on Twitter, Decloux, DECLOUX, the letter J, and I'm also on Letterboxd, Justin Decloux, and every week on the Important Cinema Club. Check it out.
And you can find me on Twitter, Sergeant Zima, SGTZIMA. That is it.
And that's it for this week. Have fun, you guys.
Thanks for the pick, patron.
Absolutely, it was a very good pick, and appreciate the patrons out there for sticking around, and for all you listeners. And I hope you have a great either Canada Day or 4th of July, which was a week ago when you're listening.
It was
to
way
this.
past the time you listened to this.
But what are you gonna do? I'm April Edmansky.
I'm Justin Decloux.
I'm Colin Cunningham.
And remember, there's no such thing as a bad